Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Monday, the 25th of January. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, and as you can see, let's just run out to the bigger time frame here and look at the dailies first. And taken a bit of a bounce from where we've been. Euro's bit of Thursday, Friday. Well, Thursday bounced back into that sort of previous trend line. Friday closed below that trend line and was looking weak. Well, at the moment we're having a bit of a bounce. We have got the weekly pivot above us, so there's a possibility we could run up towards that. Now, looking at the shorter time frame, obviously with the Thursday's action following Draghi's speech and the continuation through Friday of that downward trend that had started. The market looks pretty weak here. Already hit the daily pivot, etc. So we've taken out some sort of key areas and targets, and the monthly pivot seems to be pivotal for sure this month as the price has sort of run back into that yet again. Now, a break of the 34 and a move up may see us running up towards Friday's highs and the weekly pivot, the R1. It's certainly a possible sort of reach. At the moment, my preference would be for the downside, maybe a break of the lows here and the push down and maybe some new near-term lows looking towards that S1. Certainly, Thursday's lows may be coming into play a little bit there just prior to that, but it certainly looks like a possibility if it starts breaking down again. Cable starting to look like it might be trying to make a recovery. Friday was a bit of a funny old day. We've ended up with a shooting star in the end. It was looking quite bullish at one stage. It's pushing up nicely. As you can see on the 4-hourly chart, really better. And then it's getting really close to its weekly pivot. Came in with a few pips to that weekly pivot and then just rolled over. But since then, since the weekend, we've seen a decent bounce coming through. We have got the weekly pivot below, so there is a chance of a bit of a sell-off now. It's more in that sort of in-between area. So I'll come back to the dailies. You sort of you've got the hammer one side, the shooting star the other side, which is certainly indecision in terms of where people think this is going to go. Maybe if it starts selling off and Euro starts selling off, we may have some sort of correlation again, which would be nicer to trade in. But no guarantees in this market at the moment. As we're looking at the moment, maybe there's a trend line running up from these lows here. It's just been sort of tested at the moment, which, well, it's got a daily pivot there as well, but maybe a break of this side, the 34 moving average, may see a run down back towards the hourly 50 and the weekly pivot, and that then may set up a bit of the morning for some continued downside if that was to occur. So that's a possibility. It's starting to break at the moment. So could push on, but we need to just wait until 8 o'clock. Alternatively, if we do get any support around these levels that we're sitting in, it's getting a little bit oversold on the shorter time frames. Maybe if we get a break of the highs, well, we could be back on for Friday's high and that pushed towards the R1 there. Okay, that's cable. Dollar yen. Dollar yen's taken a bit of a bounce here, softened up. The dollar yen softened up a little bit with the more positive news sort of in the Asian region, China and the Chinese markets. We're seeing a little bit money. It's going to risk off at the moment, maybe, but we have got the weekly pivot below us. It may want to come back and test that. We've got the daily pivots untouched at the moment. Again, that maybe it's a pretty close sort of area. That 34, maybe a break of that 34 could see a strengthening back down towards the weekly pivot. But at the moment, the trend is solidly up in this intermediate time frame. Okay, Aussie dollar. Now it's an Australian bank holiday, but that won't make too much difference in terms of its currency, I don't think. At the moment, it's already a decent shove up on, was it Thursday, Friday, indecisive candle, and it's just sitting here really breaking that prior candle, luring on the weaker side. Weekly pivots within easy range, so the continuation to the downside, it's already put what looks like almost a lower high in here. So got a possibility of breaking down and running down towards that weekly pivot. Bit of a mixed old bag on the intermediate time frame here on the hourlies. Really, to say, just really need to see a break that 50 MA for the weekly, maybe push on down a little bit further then. But I've got very choppy over Friday there after the shove up on Thursday. So it's whether or not it can hold on to this short-term gain. And finally, the Canadian dollar. Price of oil increasing slightly has helped the Canadian dollar markets steadying themselves out. It's helped the Canadian dollar, and it's pulled off quite well from the highs it made last Wednesday. It has got its weekly pivot above it, so we may see a bit more of a bounce here, and we'll just need to watch how oil correlates with this. I don't think the oil's bottomed out yet. It's just probably seeing a bit of a bounce. But certainly we've got a chance here of the Canadian dollar just rallying back towards that weekly pivot at some point. It's already caught the daily pivot here. Trend though at the moment on this intermediate time frame has got to be down until we see some sort of retrace and then a continuation of this move. But it's broken, although it looks like it's broken that trend line. Is it? Oh no, it's just right bang into it. It's just taking those earlier 2 points. It's bang into that trend line at the moment, but a break of that could see us back towards the weekly pivot. Now, the easiest route for the Canadian dollar, as I said many a time, is really to the upside. So any sort of bounce, I'd like to see a little pullback and then a break of the highs, and maybe then we'll see a continuation to the upside. Okay, that's it for me. News-wise, today's not a lot. Excuse me. As I said, the Australian markets are closed today. Well, they're closed now anyway. Got the German business climate coming out at 9 o'clock this morning. Do get little moves from that, but they are relatively small. I've got Draghi speaking at 6 o'clock this evening, so maybe that could create some volatility around that time. Who's due to speak at the Deutsche Bank's New Year's reception? Okay, but could get a bit of volatility around that, we'll see. But after last week's action, I think probably most of what he's had to say is out there. Right, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.